Oh my god, it's all over the place. But of course, what would crafting be without my craft beer? Hey y'all, what's up? So it's the same day as my thrift haul. If I'm wearing the same outfit, that's why. But I wanted to film the next in my series for my Taako cosplay. I figured I'm gonna get cracking on the bracer, the Bureau of Balance bracer. So I wanted to take you guys a little journey with me. Please, come along, call me. So everyone knows that real cosplayers sit on the floor to do their work, so that's where I am. And to start off, I'm going to saran wrap my arm, tape it up, and make a pattern out of it. Alright, so now that I have my pattern, boop, 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 I'm going to trace it onto craft foam and then do some more stuff with it. So I started by tracing the pattern that I made onto craft foam. And cutting it out. And then I started molding it to my arm. So first I just used pressure to kind of fold it into the shape and see that it fit my arm correctly, and then I went in with my heat gun to heat up the foam and make it pliable in order to stretch it to the shape of my arm. I then cut out small details for the edges of the bracer to give it a little more dimension and depth. Then I started working on the Bureau of Balance symbol that would be attached to the middle of the bracer. I looked at a bunch of reference images on Google, some from artist renderings, some from cosplayers who had already made a Bureau of Balance bracer themselves, and I decided that I wanted it to be relatively large with the raised design. So I wanted it to be a three-dimensional design rather than something that was engraved into the surface of the bracer. Then I cut that design out and I folded the inner pieces and used the scissors to cut out the recessed details in the middle of the design as well.
Next, I hot glued down all of the detail pieces into place. I then used my heat gun over it again to mold it back to my arm shape. So I was going to use Velcro initially, and I started cutting little pieces for it to attach to the bracer. Then I was like, hey, I have these fancy clip things, so why don't I just go ahead and use those? So I made straps for them and attached them to the bracer. But the problem was that they added a lot of room and the bracer didn't really fit all that well, and it was just kind of sliding around. So I decided to take them off. So I used my heat gun to heat the hot glue up and carefully, slowly, gently remove the attachment points. Then I was like, alright, let me just use elastic. Because buckles didn't work, they added too much space. Elastic should be fine to just slide it on. Boom. It slides. Nope. Oh, whoa. Okay, maybe it's a little. Oh, whoa. Oh, wait. We're really having some trouble here. There we go. Okay. Elastic, maybe not so much. Because when I tried to take it off. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh god. We really gotta bring out the big guns here. And catastrophe.
Well, it looks like I have to start all over. But you know, this is what happens in cosplay, is you fuck up and then you start again, and maybe it works out that time.
So I started over. I cut out the accent pieces that I had made for this failed bracer just so I wouldn't have to make them all over again. And they were still in good condition, so I figured might as well salvage them and reuse them for the next bracer. So I actually used the pieces to draft the pattern for the new bracer. I just laid them onto a new sheet of craft foam and traced around the outside. This ensured that the bracer would be the correct size and that the pieces would fit perfectly onto it as well. So I cut that new pattern out and I glued on the pieces from the original bracer. And as I should have in the beginning, I decided to attach everything with Velcro.
Now the back of this is sticky because it's like peel and stick, so I'm just gonna put a piece of craft foam on the back to make sure it doesn't stick to anything. Now, in order to make it go like this, I'm gonna have to be able to put this side down, and obviously that's not the sticky side. So, I'm gonna remove the backing and stick it to another piece of foam. Alright, so now that it's stuck onto the foam, I think what I'll do is glue on another piece of foam right here. I don't know how well Velcro takes hot glue, so let's see if this works. And I'm just gonna do the same thing on the bottom side. Alright, so I'm gonna let this dry now. And then we're gonna give it a whirl and see how it goes. Alright. So I think that's good. It's kind of hard to show. That's what it looks like on the bottom. I mean, I think appearance-wise, it's pretty okay. I mean, you're probably not gonna really see it all that much, but yeah. So there's the bracer, unpainted and everything. So now I'm gonna add these little dome studs around the outside. Around the outside. I was just gonna put them like, whoa, just kind of like equally spaced along here. I think I'm just gonna stick them in there. I think that will be fine. Boom. So I really feel like just simple things can elevate cosplays to just look like you spent a little more time on them or just look a little more realistic. And I mean, I just had these things laying around and I think they look awesome. Woo! So now just prepping and priming and painting, and that'll be it. Whoop whoop.